Huge news has rocked the fight world, and it centers on one of the most anticipated events in UFC history. Conor McGregor himself has confirmed that he will be fighting Michael Chandler on the massive White House card. After months of speculation, cryptic social media posts, and shifting rumors, the Irish superstar finally put the doubts to rest with a declaration that sent fans into a frenzy. Chandler, already expected to be part of the historic night, now finds himself locked in opposite the most polarizing figure in combat sports. The UFC hasn't officially stamped the bout just yet, but Dana White has made no effort to hide his excitement. He's already spoken glowingly about the matchup, and with Chandler being American, the promotion sees the stars perfectly aligning for McGregor to headline what could become the most iconic fight card ever. Staged, the announcement didn't just stir excitement. It lit a fire under the entire UFC machine. Dana White appeared on Fox Sports and unveiled exclusive behind-the-scenes photos of how the White House setup will look. He revealed where the fighters will make their walkouts, how the octagon will be placed, and gave fans a peek into the immense planning that goes into transforming one of the world's most historic landmarks into an arena of violence. Dana stressed that this is more than just another fight card. It's a once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. With the White House as the backdrop and the Washington Monument in view from certain angles of the octagon, the UFC is pulling every string to ensure this goes down as a moment seared into history. Capacity is still being debated, with Dana noting that the octagon alone weighs 15,000 pounds. That means engineers are carefully calculating how much the lawn can handle, keeping the number of seats under 5,000. Yet the spectacle extends beyond the octagon itself. Dana revealed that nearby areas will host an additional stage with live bands, food, and entertainment, creating a festival-like environment where nearly 85,000 people could gather. Giant screens will broadcast the fights to the crowds outside, turning Washington, D.C. into the fight capital of the world for one unforgettable evening. The card is being stacked with American star power, headlined not just by McGregor versus Chandler, but also rumored appearances from names like Sean Strickland, Kayla Harrison, Bo Nickel, and other fan favorites. This is not just about fights. It's about showcasing the UFC at its absolute peak in front of the world. Every detail points toward the UFC, creating an event that transcends sports and enters the realm of cultural history. But the news didn't stop with McGregor and Chandler. Arman Tsarukyan, one of the most dangerous lightweights in the division, sat down with Sport 24 and dropped major updates on his future. The biggest rumor? A potential clash with Dan Hooker in Qatar this November. While nothing is official yet, Tsarukyan confirmed that the UFC has approached him about it and that he's ready to sign the moment the green light is given. To him, Qatar makes perfect sense. It's closer to his family and supporters in Russia and Armenia, and it offers him main event spotlight that Madison Square Garden wouldn't. Tsarukyan spoke candidly about Hooker, praising his striking and takedown defense, but dismissing his personality as clownish. If it were up to him, he'd rather square off against names like Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett, but he knows Hooker's trash talk will make the fight marketable. He also revealed that the UFC previously blocked a grappling match between him and Benoit Saint-Denis, not wanting two top contenders risking injury before meeting inside the octagon. Still, his recent grappling win over Benson Henderson was permitted since no UFC bout had yet been signed. Arman made it clear that time off doesn't bother him. Unlike aging veterans, he believes every day in the gym sharpens his skills. He's financially secure, young, and still rising, viewing downtime as growth rather than stagnation. He even teased that if Khamzat Chimaev is available, the new middleweight champion could corner him in Qatar. When asked about a potential Islam Makhachev versus Chimaev superfight, he dismissed it as premature. Islam hasn't yet captured a welterweight belt, and Khamzat still needs to defend his title. But if that fight ever happens, Arman admitted it would electrify the sport. On the lightweight title picture, he was blunt. Paddy Pimblett will face Ilia Topuria next, and Justin Gaethje, in his view, will not be granted a title shot. Meanwhile, bantamweight contender Merab Dvalishvili has been compared to one of the greatest fighters of all time. His coach, John Wood, declared during an episode of Inside Fighting that Merab could become the Georges St-Pierre of this generation. Wood described training sessions that are so intense and high-level that he sees shades of GSP's dominance unfolding in real time. Merab is preparing for UFC 320 with a promise not just to grind Corey Sandhagen down, but to showcase improved striking that could end the fight standing. For Merab, this isn't about squeaking out a decision. It's about making a statement that he is evolving into a complete fighter, capable of controlling where the fight takes place. He respects Sandhagen's skill and toughness, but is fully committed to showing he can finish the fight anywhere it goes. His coach reinforced the point, saying Merab has so much room to grow that he could go on a record-breaking run of dominance, cementing himself as one of the sport's all-time greats if he stays focused. And then there's Alex Pereira, the UFC's middleweight powerhouse, gearing up for his rematch with Magomed Ankalaev. Pereira made headlines by suggesting that if he defeats Ankalaev again, a trilogy fight won't happen. His coach, Glover Teixeira, believes the rematch will be brutal, predicting an explosive opening round. Pereira isn't approaching the fight with anger, but with the same relentless aggression that has made him such a fearsome presence. Teixeira explained that Pereira is calm, sharp, and fully locked in, with the final weeks of camp devoted to perfecting timing and strategy. Michael Bisping reacted to Pereira's comments, pointing out that while fighters can say anything, context matters. Ankalaev has a case for a trilogy given how close the first fight was. Bisping argued that if Pereira dominates the rematch decisively, perhaps there's no need for a third fight. But if it's competitive and goes to a decision, a rubber match is inevitable. With UFC 320 just around the corner, the stakes couldn't be higher, and fans are bracing for a war. From McGregor's confirmation at the White House to Tsarukyan's Qatar ambitions, Merab's GSP comparisons, and Pereira's looming showdown, the UFC is buzzing with seismic updates. The next few months promise some of the most iconic moments in the sport's history, and the energy is only building. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think McGregor versus Chandler at the White House will live up to the hype? Who deserves the next lightweight title shot, and can Merab really become this generation's GSP? Join the debate because the fight world is heating up like never before.